Now I'm keen to get started on the underside of the roof today. There's some reinforcing I've got to do. Some of the timbers are not that great in the roof. So I'm going to get my scaffold set up, get some extra bracings in and make it nice and secure again. Got insulation to do. Yeah, it's just nice to get back upstairs. The heat has died off now. It's a lot cooler, which means I can comfortably work upstairs. Well, without further ado, I'll get my scaffold set up. We'll take a closer look. That's it, safe to come up now. So this is the area of concern. Now I'm going to put in a new timber to strengthen up this area. That one's okay, but that one is not. So yeah, just going to put a new one in. I'm not going to take that out and disturb it because it's attached to all the battens and I think it will do more harm than good. So yeah, we're just going to strengthen up this area with a new piece. So nothing fancy, just a few additional timbers. So I'm now satisfied that the integrity of this section of the roof is okay to continue. Now next phase is the silver foil insulation. Now that acts as two things, it reflects and it also gives you a moisture barrier, which is very handy in these situations because these old roofs, you've got no underfelt, you do get a little bit of moisture in there, so I find using this keeps the moisture out of the interior. At the same time it allows the roof to breathe the other side, so that's as much as important as anything. It does get wet. If it can breathe and dry, you've got less of a problem. Any torn edges I just like to seal off before I start installing it. What I don't want to be doing is joining the two together behind the A-frame, so we're going to extend it past and that way we can overlap the next layer of insulation. Ideally, if I had someone else with me, I would do this in one run from left to right, but this is still okay. Same again, I'm going to seal the edge with the silver foil tape. This is not my preferred choice of insulation. It's very good, but it's not so easy to handle because it's got like a layer of glass wool or mineral wool. It's very, you know, firmly it's very good, but when you go to put a screw in it, counter batten, yeah, it just wraps around the screw. So but anyway, this is what I had left over from another project, and to go and buy it we're probably looking at a couple of €100, so yeah, it's going to be used. I'm going to seal down the edge once we install it. So we're going to start from the top, work our way down. That way any moisture or water gets in, it will drip on the outer layer. So top first and then we'll overlap on the inside. I won't lie, it is fiddly, but you get there in the end. Just take your time, tack one end, and I like to smooth it out, tack in the middle and then work that way out. That's easier said than done sometimes. No, that's okay. We have got a little bit of a join on the bottom, which are, you know, calculated. It's 1.5 high and the gap obviously is wider. No problem. This is the most challenging bit, the highest, biggest piece. Just instantly feels cleaner, yeah, and better once it's up. It's amazing stuff. It's certainly a welcome break to get back up here and do some work. I mean, in the summer it just proves to be too hot for me up here, but those walls definitely needed sorting out downstairs. We'll canter batten it, and that way it ain't going to come off. So I've just got enough overhang there. Once I fold it over, that's where the join will be, but before I can do that, it's going to need some additional timbers in there. It's quite a flimsy area. It's had a couple put in probably 20 years ago, but it definitely needs a few more. Quite often these roofs were repaired by the farm workers, so, you know, very rustic, very in keeping, but yeah, they do last. You know, it's been up here for quite some time now. Just because they're not straight, it don't mean that it's going to collapse. It just makes it a little bit harder to work with something that's not straight when you try and put something straight in. That's the challenge with these old places. I've just noticed there's another repair needed here. The batten cracked where the knot is, so I'm just going to put a piece of timber underneath to support it for now. You know, I just can't simply replace everything. So if I can, you know, prolong its lifespan, yep, that's all I'm able to do at this particular moment in time. Yep, ideal world, I'd have the roof stripped off and redone, but it's not always ideal, is it? When your project is bigger than your budget, sometimes you just got to be resourceful. Use what you got. Okay, I'm only going to go as far as this timber here. The rest of it I still need to do some work over here on the wall, so I'm not going to close it all off. I'm going to come to here and then get this secured, and it's just a little section at the end. They look rotten, but until you put a fixing in them, looks can be deceiving. Over time, they really do go hard, these beams. That's a good thing. And I would like to say a big thank you to Dave and Church Lady on my new Patreons. Buy Me a Coffees, Vanessa, Timothy and Holly. Thank you very much for your support. It's definitely put to good use and goes straight back into this project. Yeah, talking of which, after I've done the framework, I've got to talk about the real insulation, like the thick stuff, not the silver foil. Yeah, I'm debating on what to go for, whether it be a lamb's wool mix, cotton or wood fibre. Not so sure if I'm going to go with rock wool. So let me know what benefits have you found for the different insulations that that are available. Yeah, I do like the idea of the eco sort of side of things for handling and breathing in, and its thermal properties. Lamb's wool maybe. I've just had a quick calculation. I'm looking at about 60 square metres. Yeah, I haven't done the maths yet how much that's going to cost, but it's very important in this area, especially if there's a bedroom up here. This does a fantastic job, the silver insulation. You do get like a thermal value with it as well, but it's more about the damp proofing, the moisture, stopping the moisture ingressing into the next layer of insulation, if you like, and the reflective properties of it. Obviously if it's hot it reflects the heat away, so yeah, something to think about. It won't be long before we start installing it. When it comes to the next layer of insulation, i.e. let's say lamb's wool, when you install it you mustn't push it up against this silver foil. You must maintain an air gap either side to allow this silver foil insulation to do its tricks. Now you have to have an air gap so it reflects back either side. So don't push your insulation up tight against your silver foil insulation. So say that's the thickness of our insulation, for argument's sake. I've got battens on there so it would maintain a gap from there, but you could counter batten it as well, so it gives you at least an inch, and then just lay it across as you would, or you could fill in between the bats. So yeah, you must maintain that gap either side of this for it to radiate the heat away or back in. If you push it right up close, it doesn't work so efficiently. Yeah, like so. Now I am thinking about doing, playing about with the video sort of length times. Tried longer ones, less frequent. I may try more frequency, shorter videos. Let me know in the comments how you find it. It's a tricky thing to navigate through this algorithm. Sometimes the views go okay, sometimes it's just flat, so you do have to keep changing things to suss out the best formula for your channel. So I may do like a series of shorter videos, i.e. this one, maybe the one before, maybe the one after, to see how they go. Yeah, it might not work, then I'll go back to a slightly longer format, but yeah, if I can keep it different, short, more frequent, give it a go. Yeah, on that note, see you in the next video. Bye for now.